Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Cynthia Clark, and I'm the founder of loveinyourhands.com. And I am here to help you understand the emotion of fear. We are definitely in a world of a lot of fear right now, especially. And I want to just give you some perspective on what fear is, what it's all about, why do we get sick, what is sickness and illness all about on a personal level as well as on a global level, and what are some things that we can do about it to cope in a time of uncertainty. So thank you so much for being here. By the way, if you're here, feel free to chat and say hello. Because I really do want us to feel like we're a community here on this page. And if you're listening to my podcast, I want you to know that you can also respond to the podcast, and I read the responses, and I definitely want to assist you through any difficulty, especially emotional difficulty, because that's where my heart is. And I love to assist people just in understanding what's going on. So what is fear anyway? Fear it's actually just an emotional response, right? And we've probably heard a couple of different things about fear. First of all, why do we have it? Well, our brain is wired actually to experience fear to keep us safe, right? It's like when you're a child and you touch the stove and it's hot and you burn yourself. It does that to protect you so that you don't do it again. And so then you might become afraid of that stove. Or it might be something that's not rational, right? It can be something that we just imagine. When I was a child, I was afraid of the dark. And my parents were nice enough to get one of those lights that was a dimmer light in my bedroom, so that when I was in bed alone, I could have a light on so that I wasn't just feeling like the monster was going to come out from under my bed. Right? So, but that wasn't real. That was just my perception. And so, of course, another term for fear is false evidence appearing real. And that monster wasn't actually under the bed, but that stove is hot and it will burn you if it's turned on. So a lot of times we get these things all kind of mixed up. And it's important to have compassion and love throughout this entire process, because whether it's real or imagined, it's, for us, it's something that we all need to get through. So, for example, my little dog who passed away last year, her name was Cubby, and she was terribly fearful of thunderstorms. So every time a storm would come through, and it didn't matter if it was big or small, she would just cower under the bed. She was so adorable, a little border collie, and she was so precious. But you don't go up to the dog and say, well, you should just get over it. That's so horrible. Or even worse, punish her. Like, that isn't what we're about. What we need to do is actually just give her love, right? It's like you just cuddle her and you hold her, and the storm is going on outside and it's blowing and it's miserable, and you as the human know it's going to be okay, but that dog doesn't know that. And so it's sort of like, okay, well, let's just give love and compassion. So that's where we can really make a difference as a group and together collectively, is to hold the space for healing to occur. So why do we get sick in the first place? Like, we look at a pandemic, But let's take it first to the level of the self. As an individual, why do we get sick? We get sick because we are having our soul, our spirit is trying to redirect us. Okay, so when I got divorced, I went into the worst illness that I've ever had. I had 9 months of vertigo. And the first couple of weeks were really horrible because I was flat on my back and I literally couldn't do anything. I couldn't drive. I couldn't eat. I could barely keep my eyes open without getting sick. I had a little barf bag next to my bed at all times because I never knew, like, when was I going to throw up next. I couldn't keep down anything. It was really horrifying to me because I'm generally a healthy person and I try to keep myself healthy as well. So I really didn't understand what was going on, like what other than I knew it was emotional. And the trauma of the divorce triggered this in me to go through. And it was a redirect because my life was in need of changing. And so on a soul level, it's like, well, let's give her this illness so that she can go inward because otherwise she might not. So on a global level, that's exactly what's going on. We're being given this opportunity to actually redirect our energy inward and gather up our faith again. And when we do that, we're going to learn something from it because the universe is always here to help us. The universe is really love. The universe is expansive and it's going to make us bigger and better than ever. And everything that happens to us is to help us grow and evolve to the next level. So I want you to know that, regardless of what we're seeing around us, we can hold the space within us to elevate the consciousness of the planet to learn and grow from this experience. Okay, so that's my invitation to you. And if you personally are fearful, this does show up in your hands, by the way, so we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. And also, we can look at the Chinese astrology and the feng shui of the year 2020. We're in the year of the metal rat. And where does the illness section show up? Because every year the stars change. They're called the flying stars. And this year they happen to be in the south direction. So if you're feeling like you might be getting sick, or if you're feeling like you're susceptible to getting sick, I would recommend that you take care of your south direction and definitely put a cure in place just to enhance your well-being and your harmony with your environment. One of the things that I always do is I use a wooloo, which is this little guy right here. Here's an example of a wooloo. I just put this in the south part of your house, and that can help to ward off illness. And trust me, it works really well. You could also use medicine Buddha, which is actually a Buddha that is a midnight blue color. Or anything that represents health to you. So you don't necessarily have to do something Chinese in origin or from that particular, you don't have to be that traditional. You can be more modernized if you like, and you can put something that represents health to you. For example, maybe a Band-Aid or something you could put in the south if that's powerful enough for you, or even just a picture of yourself being healthy or somebody who is healthy. Anything like that would be good to put in the south. So also how this shows up in the hands is in that a region of the hand called the Neptune mount. And so I want to talk a little bit about the heart chambers, because the heart chambers really do show us, they reflect back to us our emotional responses. So you can think of, by the way, there's 10 heart chambers in your hands, and they can show you where your heart needs to heal in order to move into your next stage of evolution. Okay, so for example, if you are looking for a partner, then, and you haven't found them yet, there may be a blocked heart chamber that is keeping you from attracting that partner into your life. And once you clear that or heal that, then your energy opens up and you're able to receive that energy. So the Neptune heart chamber is actually the realm that encompasses fear as well as other emotions such as terror or despair or hatred or hopelessness. These really deep emotions, these intense emotions, they're going to be in Neptune. And Neptune is at the crossroads between the conscious and the subconscious part of your hand. It's right in the middle, and it's located at the bottom center of your palm. And I've got it here on a little diagram as well so that you can see. Okay, so sometimes your lifeline will actually cut right through the center of it as well. So just take a look at that and just identify your own Neptune. Okay, so that's the mount. Okay, next we want to identify the heart chamber, which is going to be in what's called the water quadrant of that mount. And so here, I'm going to draw this for you so you can see. If you have a blockage, it's going to be showing up as a horizontal line in that quadrant. So it's going to be over here, and I'll show you. Okay, so horizontal lines would be representing blockages. Vertical lines would be the opposite. They would show flow in a section. And another thing that sometimes will show up in here is called a Neptune ring. And that'll actually like encompass the whole area, like a little upside down half moon. And that would also be a representation of the block in your Neptune heart chamber. So it could show up either as a single line or a couple of different lines in that section. Okay, so we're talking further away from the thumb, at the bottom part of your center part of your palm in the middle, and it would be in the section closest to Luna, which is this mount over here. It would be closer to that side. Okay, so that would be your Neptune heart chamber. So if you have one of these blocks showing up in your Neptune, that can indicate that you're holding on to some fear or one of those other emotions that I was just talking about. So let's go ahead and just do a little clearing. By the way, I'm going to be doing this for everybody out there who's listening, not only live, but also in the replay and in the podcast. So anytime that you listen to this, it will be available to you. And I'm also bringing in today, I've got one of my crystals. This is my clear quartz, and it's a heart with a beautiful flame on the back. So crystals can also enhance our energy. It can open up, especially clear quartz is a master healer. So I wanted to bring that in for this global healing that I want to do for everybody. So what I want to take us to is a mudra. And a mudra is simply a way for our hands to connect back to our brain. Okay, so when we put our hands into a mudra, what we're doing is we're talking to our subconscious in order to help facilitate healing. Okay, so mudras have been around for thousands of years, and they've been used in lots of healing ways. You're probably the most familiar with the one where we touch our thumbs to our index fingers. This is the one you often will see in statues of Buddha. And this one is a very common one. This one actually relates to the magician archetype. But today we're going to do one that relates to the transformer archetype because we want to tap into that Neptune energy. So since we're focusing on healing and building in our faith. So how we do that is we bring our 3 fingers, so our index finger, our middle finger, and our ring finger, put them all together. So one hand touches the other one, okay? So touch those together. And then I want you to tuck your little finger in and tuck your thumb in, okay? So we're like this, okay? So we've got sort of like, it almost looks like a butterfly that we're forming underneath the 3 fingers at the top. Okay, so this is the transformer mudra, okay? And I want you to take this and put it up by your heart, okay? Because everything emotional comes back to the heart chamber, right? And I'm going to do this with you, and hopefully you'll feel really good after this is done. But go ahead and take a look at, we want to have an affirmation that's going to help us heal. Okay, so I wrote this affirmation out, and I would like you to either say it out loud if you like, after me, or just say it to yourself internally, okay? Because I want us to learn from this, why do we have this pandemic going on in the first place? What are we learning? We want to open up, we want to release our fear, and we want to open up our faith. Okay, so I allow faith into my energy field to show me what is transforming for me personally and the planet globally. I am safe and I am loved. Okay, let's say that one more time. And just, if you have the ability to close your eyes, that would be fine. You can do that too. I allow faith into my energy field to show me what is transforming for me personally and the planet globally. I am safe and I am loved. And I want you to take a deep breath in, because the breath helps move energy. It's super powerful. And exhale fear. Okay, just let all that fear go. And I want you to feel the strength in this mudra. Feel how it makes your body feel. See what happens as you hold this position. Personally, I always feel stuff when I get into the mudras. They're very powerful. But you might not feel anything, and that's okay too. Okay, I don't want you to feel like, am I doing it wrong? There is no wrong. Okay, this is all about love and compassion. And I love all of you very much, and I love the planet very much that I live on. And I want all of you to know that you're not alone. So let's take another deep breath in. And exhale out that fear. And if you feel so inclined to do this again, I highly recommend it if you feel like you're carrying fear, especially looking at that Neptune heart chamber, to do this, over the next several days, anytime you feel out of balance, because this whole reset, which is what it is, we're being reset right now globally. We're all being forced to kind of go inward and figure out how it is that we are transforming. So, and we absolutely are transforming. Okay, so the universe is always here to help us grow and evolve. Okay, so when we have that fear, remember, it could be It's okay to have it, by the way. I don't expect you not to have it. But just really be gentle and compassionate with yourself during this period, and know that it is, there's something even more glorious coming our way. And in this moment right now, you're okay. All right. So just feel that you are safe, you are loved, and we're going to get through this together, all of us. Holding the space of love and light, that's what I strive to do every day. So thank you for joining me in today's live stream. This was definitely not what I was expecting to talk about today, but I felt like this would be the most important thing to talk about. And if you're interested in learning more about the heart chambers, this is actually something that I've just recently started teaching. So if you've had a reading from me before, I never talked about these before because I didn't know about them, or I didn't think about them until I ended up coming onto this love transformation journey that I'm on now. And my goal is to help 1 million people to find and keep long-lasting love. That is my wish for the planet. And it's because I personally have gone through my own transformation, and I've made it to the other side, and I've got my partner with me now who I'm deeply, deeply grateful for. And I want everybody who is looking for love to be able to find it and know it. And not just any love, but a deep, true love, which is available to everyone. So understanding these heart chambers is actually very important. And to know which heart chambers are blocked for you is also very important. So I'm creating this report, and it's going to be very inexpensive, just $20 to get your report, just to understand. All I need from you is a digital photo of your hands. You can be from anywhere in the world, and I can read your hands, which is really awesome, because that's one thing I love about technology is I don't have to be in person to read your hands. And we can study, I can study your heart chambers and send you out your report of where you're at. And I will also include one of the mudras that you can use personally to help you in transforming your own heart chambers. So it'll be over at loveinyourhands.com in my store section, where you can sign up for this report. So thank you so much for listening and being here and holding the light energy together. And I look forward to serving you in the future and serving you again next week at the same time for another live stream. So have a wonderful day, everyone. And we're going to get through this. So just stay, keep that faith going, okay? And I'm with you. So take care, everyone.